Hello and welcome to LeedsHacks News. I'm Katie Lyons.
And I'm Zoe Merry. Here are today's headlines.
As the holiday season approaches, traditional travel agents are being left behind due to online booking websites.
A Leeds animal charity is finding new homes for neglected horses.
On parade in Morley, now there are calls for St George's Day to be made an annual public holiday. But first, police have released video footage of a man who they want to identify over the abduction of a 12-year-old girl in Leeds.
These images show the man on Old Run Road in Hunslet last Tuesday morning. The victim was on her way to school at around 9:15 when she was approached by a man near the M621 flyover. He grabbed her, but she fought back and he was disturbed by a woman passerby who contacted the police. He's described as white, medium height and build, with short dark hair and a beard. Anyone who can help should call 101.
Next tonight, new statistics have shown more people prefer to book their holidays abroad online.
Vishali Varu finds out whether this proves to be a threat for travel agents in Leeds.
Booking.com have revealed that 80% of customers prefer to self-serve to get the information they need when booking a holiday.
I think a lot of people it's just more convenient for them to book it online, as would I. It's obviously less overheads, isn't it, as well? That's why it's so much cheaper to book it online. And then it's better to shop around as well, because I normally go to comparison websites, so I can just shop around and get a quick comparison of all the different prices on all the different sites. Whereas I think if you go to an agency, you're just restricted to that one agent. It's slowly a dying trade, unfortunately, I think.
The increase of online booking could create concern for travel agents, questioning how they will survive through this.
We're finding our passenger numbers are growing rather than shrinking, except in very limited and certain areas where clients can book their own low-cost flights if they choose to online. They wouldn't need to come to us. And very simple hotel bookings, perhaps a London hotel. We've lost that kind of business without question. But for anything where people are travelling abroad and there's a risk involved of companies going bankrupt or failing to provide the service, we find that there's still a huge demand for the independent agent.
We are soon approaching summer and people are ready to jet off somewhere warm. Even though more people prefer to book their holidays themselves online, travel agents feel confident that people will be back to book long-haul flights. Vishali Varu reporting for LeedsHacks.
It's been found that horse neglect is on the rise in the UK. Local charity Hope Pastures is doing what it can to help combat the issue.
The Rehabilitation Centre in Leeds finds homes for neglected horses and helps them back to a living healthy life. Lucy Hopwood reports.
Horse neglect and abandonment is on the rise in the UK. 2018 RSPCA statistics show over 16,000 concerns regarding horses in England and Wales alone. Hope Pastures is an equine rehabilitation centre in Leeds.
Horses come to Hope Pastures when they find themselves in unfortunate situations like neglect and abandonment. Tino came to the farm in February 2018 and he's now finally off to his loving home tomorrow to enjoy a life of happiness.
Well, Tino came to Hope Pastures. He was found in a terrible state, abandoned up a track. The first thing that became very evident was that Tino couldn't see out of either of his eyes. They were so badly infected. He was lice-ridden, he was matted hair, and so we worked with him over a period of about 2 months until he understood that we weren't going to do him any harm. And now it's a wonderful success story because Tino will be going out to a new home. The majority of horses that are abandoned because they have no value in today's world. They come to us and if we can, we will rehome them to either a foster home or a permanent home. But we have about just short of 200 at the moment out there that have been rehomed with families. We have about 24 here on site, and we have about 50 out in foster homes waiting until we can bring them here on site and work with them.
Freya here is one of the most recent rescues at Hope Pastures and the team are hoping that they can rehabilitate her and eventually find her a forever loving home. Lucy Hopwood reporting for LeedsHacks.
Microtransactions in the video games are all the talk in the video game world at the minute, but they can leave players severely out of pocket.
Games like Fortnite and Apex Legends have evolved the traditional gaming business model with their free games, but the cost of video games to many these days is much more.
For me, the game I've probably spent the most on microtransactions are Fortnite. I've probably spent upwards of around £200 on it. Now the game itself is free to play, which is great because you save around £20 to £40 on the game itself. But because microtransactions are so easy to buy, it's a simple 2-click process, you really just fund money into it. So it's a basic, the Fortnite skins aren't pay to win, but it's just cosmetic. It's just to look at, to look nice, to have a good pickaxe and stuff like that. But that's the stuff you want because the game itself is the same. It's pretty much skill based, but the cosmetics that you can spend money on makes it look a bit nicer. So it's a really easy way to spend £20, £30, and then, like I said, I've been playing it for around 2 years now, and I've probably spent around, well, over £200 easily.
A campaign has started to provide life-saving equipment at Farnley Reservoir in Pudsey.
Farnley Reservoir is popular with the residents of Pudsey. It's also a place for dog walkers and runners. However, some are put off by the lack of life-saving equipment such as fences, ropes and life rings. There's now a campaign on Twitter in an effort to make the reservoir safer. There are calls for St George's Day, which celebrates England's patron saint, to be made a public bank holiday rather than May Day, which, believe it or not, is now only a week away.
Hundreds lined the streets of Morley for a St George's Day parade yesterday. There were marching bands and members of the armed forces at the event, which has become a popular annual fixture in the town.
We are named as the most patriotic town in the country. On a Saturday, we had a service on Thursday at the St Paul's Church, which was well attended, and then we do a street market on the Saturday, and then this on the Sunday, and they reckon 20,000 people come through the town.
I think it's important for people to have something to recognise in the same way as the Irish do with the St Patrick's Day, the Welsh do. We shouldn't be left out. I think there's something for the English to recognise. So it should be a bank holiday as well, I think.
Local football club Farsley Celtic have achieved promotion to the Leeds National League North for the first time since they went into administration in 2010.
They will be competing in the 6th tier of the English football after winning the Northern Premier League, finishing 3 points above their nearest rivals and secured promotion with a 2-0 home win on Saturday. Owen Tyree reports.
On Saturday, Farsley celebrated in style as their local team, Farsley Celtic Football Club, clinched promotion back into the league they were relegated from 9 years ago.
Back in 2010, Farsley Celtic Football Club went into administration and were relegated into the Northern Counties League, but after a long, hard journey to recover and a 2-0 win against Marine on Saturday, the club has secured their promotion into the National League. We spoke with Joshua Greaves, the chief executive of Farsley Celtic Football Club, who said, "Everyone pulls together in the local community and there's a real family feel around the club. We had 1,500 fans at the ground on Saturday, which is sentiment to the local community. If we continue to implement these values, I believe we'll continue to progress as a club. I want to be the second biggest club in Leeds." With the support of the entire community, Farsley Celtic Football Club is hopeful for the future. Owen Tyree reporting for LeedsHacks News.
What a great way to end the football season, Zoe.
I know, we couldn't have asked for a better win. Thank you for watching.
Bye. See you this time next week.